Oh,
Sorry about the time zone mess up.
that's all right. Oh, yeah, it happens more than you. Trust me, it happens a lot.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I'm stoked I got you on here. I thought you'd be, hungover or whatever
No,
from the show
no
yesterday.
comment.
What an exciting time for you guys. I caught you in action actually on Saturday, in Sydney,
Oh, beautiful.
and there I was, two beers on top of each other, standing at the back of the crowd, and I was looking at you guys just rip in, and I was going, "Fucking, how good is this?"
It was a
Uh,
good show. It's been great. It's been really, really great.
the, I mean, your songs are great, but you also the live performance is quite a spectacle itself, isn't it? I mean, guitars are getting thrown around, you're riding skateboards.
Yeah, we try to make it like an experience. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're side stage, you're involved. If you're in the crowd, you're involved. With everyone. We try to make everyone the energy infatuating and all that.
You're on the same time as Corey Taylor, I think, and I thought, you know, he pulled a good crowd, but you guys just had a big crowd there as well. I mean, there was
Yeah, it was great. It was yeah, and we clashed with While She Sleeps as well. But all three of us had great crowds, so it just shows how many people are there.
does that get a bit annoying sometimes when you look at the set? You look at the sets for a festival and you go, "Oh, this person's on, or this person," or do you just not even think about it?
Like for me, I would have liked to have seen While She Sleeps, but obviously,
You were playing.
yeah. So that part's annoying, but otherwise, it's sort of just doesn't really phase me. That part, you do is what you can do. Yeah, you can't change anything, so you just got to make good with what you've got.
I'd put it in my planner to make sure that I was there from the start for you guys. And the morning of, I was looking at the forums online about, who's the best, who's a good band to go and see and stuff. And Ocean Sleeper, the name just kept coming up in the comments. What's it like?
Really?
What's it like to see that sort of stuff, or to hear that, that sort of stuff is happening? They were talking about the Melbourne show in particular, saying obviously
Really?
going Ocean Sleeper put on the big show yesterday, and you've got to go
Yeah.
and catch them in Sydney. So yeah, a lot of people vouching for you.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a cool thing to see. I don't think we've seen a whole lot of that before, but it just shows that we might be doing the right thing. At least they're not saying that we're doing bad. Don't see it.
I saw you say, you said, who's seen us here before? And then, there's a bunch of hands. And then you said, who hasn't seen you? And it was probably 50-50. So it was
Yeah,
really cool to see, yeah, so many people around you. It was an awesome day.
yeah. It was great. Like obviously, like all the new fans, all that kind of thing. That's what doing a big festival like that is the great thing that you can gain from that. But also having the crowds that we have had the last 3 days is yeah really special. So we're very lucky to have that as well.
I've done a lot of interviews in the lead up to Good Things, and I was like, I was a bit annoyed that I sort of hadn't had you guys teed up pre Good Things, but I thought at least we can now know what Good Things was like from your perspective.
Oh man.
Um, what's the backstage like? I was standing there in the crowd. I'm like, what happens behind there? Like, who are they hanging out with? Who are they eating with? Who are they drinking with? Like, what's the
Yeah.
backstage like?
Backstage, that was an experience, something that we've never had, like catering, and like it was just like really nice food. Like we're not just stuck to eating Macca's or like whatever. Like we had good breakfast, we had like a good lunch, we had a good dinner. It was crazy. So that's unfortunately something we probably won't get again for a little bit. So lapping that up. But we hung out a lot with Royal and the Serpent because their set was after ours. So like every day we were together pretty much. So they're legends. We had a really good time with them. Plot and New we're friends with, so we knew them. They were great. Tapestry, obviously, the local boys with us. Their green room was next to ours every day, so saw them every day, which is great. But yeah, and Make Them Suffer. Obviously, we're great friends with Make Them
Yeah,
Suffer.
yeah.
So yeah, it was just a lot of hanging out backstage, which was yeah really nice. It makes it so much fun.
With Saturday, we saw the full experience there of what it's like to play early and what can happen if you play late at night and a storm
Yeah.
rolls on in. Um, Obviously, playing earlier in the day, I've heard from a lot of the bands that were on the bill that if they're later at night, they've got to watch their drinking.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. We were quite good on this one. We all didn't really drink uh till after we played, and like didn't even really drink too much. But last night was our night that we got to let the hair down properly. But in that, like we had I think the peak of the the heat every day. So like we had like peak, like I got sunburn as pretty much every day, but like just that peak of the time before the sun kind of cools down at like 4ish. So we finished at
Yeah.
4:20. So we fairly copped to that one.
And Brizzy was hot.
Brizzy, that was that was the hottest performance we've ever had to do. It was,
Really?
yeah, yeah, and you could see in the crowd as well. Like everyone was like getting around it, like which was great, but you could really tell everyone was like struggling a little bit. Like so we it was hot. Even the bands, like we were lucky because we were on stage 5, but like a lot of bands were coming out of 3, 4, with heat stroke, which is an in-house
Yeah, wow.
in the tent, so it was brutal in there. It was so hot. Where like Slaughter to Prevail were and all that.
Yeah, yeah. And I read also on another forum about yesterday's show that the metal kids were still keeping it metal, wearing like
Yeah.
a jacket and
Oh
micro.
man. Well, yeah. Well, like our stage fit, like for the last few runs, like I wear like a boiler suit thing, like a
Yeah.
Dickies boiler suit thing. So I was wasn't having the best time, but yeah.
Oh, it's good to see, man. Tell us about the band. I know you started what 8 odd years ago. Didn't have a
Yeah.
drummer. You were just like
Yeah.
putting together songs. Tell me about the beginnings of the band because it's amazing to see where you guys are now.
Yeah. Oh, we're stoked where we're at the moment. So yeah, we're just a couple kids from a country town that sort of knew each other in roundabout ways, and yeah, started playing shows. Um, yeah, just started doing whatever shows we really could, trying to get into Melbourne because obviously we're 3 hours away from the city. So, and then from there, just built our foundations and all that. And yeah, we're super sort of proud of where we're at now, just because like no musical anything comes from anywhere in our direction. Like we've never had,
Right.
you don't have bands that you grow up with and you say like, oh, they did it. I think we're the like we know like Mirrors, we're friends with Mirrors, and they're having a good crack as well. But it's like us and them, we didn't really know anyone else that's had sort of like success with music in that kind of way,
Mm.
especially in like metal. So doing that, we're like super proud of that.
So what are you doing to start with? Filling out the PCYCs or, how did the
Um,
beginning look?
the beginning was pretty much like we'd play like I guess like a workers club in Melbourne,
Mm.
and would just bring like uh everyone we knew from Gippsland pretty much would just bring all them down, and everyone was just like, why is there a sold out show and why is no one from Melbourne here? And then eventually from there, like our friends stopped going as that, and then uh fans that would actually come, and then eventually grew actual fans, not just our friends come to shows and whatnot. So and then that was sort of just the snowball, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. It's inspiring to hear that sort of stuff. That's why I really like to pick the brains of people about that. Getting out of the regions and then all of a sudden becoming quite successful through the metros. You're singing now a lot more, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Arnie's been he's been working me pretty hard because he's our producer obviously, and we're just trying to we're trying to do like the two vocalist kind of thing. We don't want to be like a singer and a screamer, so it's like predictable in that kind of way. We want to make it so Arnie's doing a lot more screaming in songs as well now. I'm doing some singing, and like we're just trying to make it so our the songs that we release, we have just like a wide range of like our envelope is a lot bigger now. Like the ceiling of what we can do with the band is a lot bigger rather than just sticking to like the heavy bits and then the clean singing
Yeah.
choruses and like that. So we're just trying to shake it up in that kind of way and having a lot of fun with it.
And when Ione said to you, "Hey, it's time to start singing more," what was your first
Yeah.
reaction?
Oh, we have wanted to do it for quite a long time, but it's just sort of been like having the time to actually do it. Like I know King of Nothing was supposed to be when I started doing it, but we just didn't have the time for me to get in the studio to do it, so we just had to get him to do it, unfortunately. But like, yeah, but it was pretty nerve-wracking for me at first, that's for sure.
Yeah, I do you feel like you can sort of not hide when you're screaming, but you just sort of it's a completely different thing, isn't it? I mean,
Well, yeah, it's something that's very comfortable for me. So
yeah.
like I'm happy to do that all day sort of thing. But then this is a new thing that like at the moment I'm still, I guess, finding my feet with, getting the confidence and all that kind of thing.
And you talk about comfortability, obviously with Ione recording you guys and stuff, it must be that's nice to sort of be able to jump in the studio with obviously the band member and work on
Yeah.
things.
Oh, he's incredible. He's a great songwriter and he's really great at productions. Like his our new songs are like I think a good testament of where he's at with his like sample use and all that kind of thing. So like we're realistically, 20% instruments, and then everything else is electronics and all that like really cool production stuff that he's really good at now.
You guys, you have quite a good following, plenty of
Yeah,
streams and stuff. You're looking after socials, are you? Is that your job?
yeah, yeah. That's my role. Yeah.
Is it a pain in the ass at times,
A
or do
little
you
bit.
enjoy it?
No, I enjoy it absolutely, but yeah, it's just one of those things that you just got to be mindful of all the time, sort of thing.
Yeah, the scheduling of posts, the
Yeah,
yeah, I think we all know that all too well.
yeah. Well, exactly. But yeah, it's just what it is. I think social media is something very important, something we've always tried to push pretty hard so that we could grow and all that kind of thing. So I think it's worked pretty well for us so far. So I guess it's just a necessary thing to learn about.
I was looking at some of your gear before, but I hadn't checked out TikTok. I'm guessing TikTok's a big one for you guys.
It's okay. We don't we kind of go off and on with it. Like
Yeah,
sometimes we've had a few kind of viral videos which go really good. Makes your monthlies go up like 20,000 for no reason, and
yeah,
then it just dies off again. So it's TikTok's like a random thing, but it's definitely fun to explore.
yeah. It's a hard one to predict. Like you never know what's going to go good and what's going to go bad on there.
Exactly.
Hey, your latest single that came out, Heaven.
Yep.
What can you tell me about that? Is it about religion?
It is. It's just about kindness and those kind of things. Like there's a lot of, I guess, religion. Uh, I don't know, just cultures and whatnot where people, uh, I don't know, cut out and shunned and that kind of thing. So we just kind of just say it's just like a backhand kind of way of just you don't need that stuff to be kind to people and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. It's good message. I
Yeah,
saw your YouTube account, and you guys have like I think Taiwan. I think I was watching a little doc.
yeah.
It's cool to watch. I love the behind the scenes stuff and watching you guys. Are you fully like are you independent, or you've obviously probably got a bit of backing at the moment, but like it looks like you guys are so DIY at times.
We got a thing of say DIY till I die, but we 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 share the roles around quite well. So like just doing the merch ourselves, merch store. Arnie does all the production. He's edited a lot of our music videos, and then Jaden, our tour videographer, does our music videos as well. He did Heaven, which was a really fun one take. I'm the manager, but then we have our label BMG, who are great, and we're booked by Tommy at New World Artists, which has started this year, which is it's been great.
Nice. You say you're the manager. I know it can be rewarding, but it must be tough. Must be some tough conversations every now and then.
Nah, well, not yet. They're probably due. Probably can't be far away if that's the case. But yeah, it's just whatever. We're on the same page. We just want to keep pushing it and like do what we can do to make to keep doing things like good things or like the big things that pop up, like whatever we can do to make those things continue. We're just all on the same page of, like I say, I'm the manager, but it's realistically all of us. I'm not making a say. It's all three of us making the decisions and all that.
There has been a rise over the years of bands sort of just doing it themselves and working it all out themselves, because
Yeah,
back in the day, right, we're talking, 20 years ago when like, you're starting in bands and stuff, it seems so hard to do all that sort of stuff. And now more people are having a crack at it. You encourage that
yeah.
sort of stuff? Would you encourage that to a band starting today?
Oh, I think it's important. Well, in our eyes, it's like the you can pay a manager and that's fine. And like if they have the great contacts to get you in, where you want to be, then that's
Mm.
obviously what you need. But I think where we try to invest back into the band. So whatever money that we can use to go back into the band, I think is pretty necessary. Like we're all pretty hands on. Like yeah, so I think as long as while I can get in contact with who I need to and do all those kind of things and organize everything and make our goals happen, then that's fine. And that will probably come to a point soon enough when, I don't have the time to do all those kind of things as well behind the scenes. And we'll have to give that to, we'll have to get a manager to do all that. But for the meantime, it's working, which is great.
Good stuff. I
Mm.
was looking at the schedule from like That must have been the last gig of the year yesterday, was it?
No. So
Oh,
it
he's
it
still going.
was. Yeah, it was. But we're doing the Thornhill Christmas show in 2 weeks, which will be
Okay.
cool. It's us, also Thornhill, Ocean Grove, us, and Inertia, it'll be sick.
Right. I was looking at the schedule of all of this year and like what you had your own tour, you had Sunk Lotto, you had did you play Unified? This is then
Yeah.
you got good things. It's like you must be just constantly on the road. Does it feel like that?
Yes and no. Like, yeah, this year is absolutely been our best year as far as those kind of things. Started with a festival in Adelaide, co-headliner with Dear Seattle, which was awesome. Love those boys. Went from that to touring with Make Them Suffer and Fit for an Autopsy, which was I guess our first big tour support kind of thing, which was amazing. Yeah, went from that to our own headliners, which sold out, which was this year's been crazy for us. It's been a very, very cool kind of thing to, I don't know, see, because a lot of years have been put into building this thing. So seeing this year happen, it's like, I know it's great. And like the last 3 days, we've all been super, super happy with just how everything's gone.
Is there one thing that you can think of that's made the wheels turn faster this year than other years? Was it, is it just the kick-ass songs you guys are releasing, or is Triple J spitting you out more than normal? You know what I mean?
Uh, I don't know. I think we've just built a good foundation, and I think we got some good chances this year, and people were happy with how they went. So I think it was just like a bit of a thing where we got someone threw us a bone and it went right, so got another bone. But yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's just people were happy with what we're doing, so yeah.
Well, 2024 is just around the corner, and the obvious question is, what's happening there? What have you got booked? Is it going to be a bigger year than this year?
Dude, I hope so. Like next year, our goal is just to get out of Australia. So we've got a few conversations in the go. So if we can get to America and Europe next year, then that's and we've got an EP to put out next year, which will be very cool.
Nice.
So a headline tour for that. So if we can, yeah, tour America, tour Europe, do our headline tour, that's in my eyes the perfect year. So we'll see how that goes.
And the cool thing is with data these days is
Yeah.
you can see where people are listening, right? So you can just head
Exactly,
there.
exactly. We're dying to get over to America because that's where all our numbers, our big numbers are across America. So yeah, we're dying to get over there.
And I was talking to a friend the other day about like, your band can get pretty big in Australia and stuff, but it's like, bands like Parkway or, like are just massive in other countries that Aussies don't even understand. So
Yeah,
if you guys, never went to America, you'd never know, would you? I mean, you'd want to get
exactly.
there and see what could possibly happen.
There's just so many cities. Like you Australian tour, you have 5 capital cities or whatever, but like you could have 30 of the same size cities in America.
Mm.
Like there's just so much more people. It's such a bigger market. So it's if you can crack that, then you're set.
And the States is, yeah, that's right. They say if you can make it in America, then you can make
Yeah.
it anywhere.
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's basically it, man. Thank you so much for jumping on the podcast. Whether you're hungover or you're not going to elaborate. But thanks so much for jumping on. New music in the new year. Don't know when. Possibly an EP.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, definitely new music. So I think early next year we'll be putting out another single, which will be awesome. That one's a very fun, heavy one, which will be sweet. And then a few more singles, but yeah, EP coming out early next year as well. EP tour, and then yeah, hopefully some tours announcing quite soon to unveil all that.
Awesome. Thanks for jumping on, Karl, the singer, the screamer, devotion sleeper, the manager. You do it all. Thanks for jumping on, man.